Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're just going to take a brief look at the price action of Chainlink, Ethereum, and Uniswap. Um, Yesterday, we were discussing the Bitcoin dominance chart, and I think it's good for follow up to see how altcoins are doing because um, the fate of altcoins, the price action of altcoins is solely dependent on not solely dependent, but very much influenced by the price movements of Bitcoin. Um, if Bitcoin is moving too hot or too cold, then it negatively affects altcoins. So, uh, first with Chainlink, in my previous video, I did draw this line here. This triangle here. That Chainlink's prices looks like it's coiling, making lower highs, as you can see here, and then higher lows, and this is all starting from the beginning of September. However, it really we now see that yesterday Chainlink broke that price and then closed the day below it, and the following day, which is today, further moved to the downside. So, because this is definitely not good, but the reasoning would be about I would say about Bitcoin's recent price movement to the upside that really negatively affected Chainlink. However, because of this breakdown, it can further insinuate more move to the downside. How far we move down, it's hard to say because in comparison to the rest of Chainlink, we've been moving in an exponential pattern. So we're kind of moving into new territory here. But the first line of defense would be this, I guess, this bottom here, local bottom of Chainlink, which was at the middle of the end of July, actually, in the summer. Um, Hopefully we can make support here and then move further up. What's interesting, and we noticed this in the previous video where I covered Chainlink, is that Chainlink's weekly candles seem to be using the 20-week, much like how Bitcoin in a bull run is using the 20-week moving average as support. We'd see it bounce here, 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 and in some instances we see it go below, like here, 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 and this one right here. What we're currently seeing now is a very big red candle, weekly candle, below the 20-week. Now this is still very early on, but it seems like we have been bouncing off the support of the 20-week since September, and we finally broke it. Now, this isn't doomsday, as I shown here. There are instances where Chainlink does move down below the 20-week briefly, but is always followed by strong green candles to the upside to bring it back up. The only instance where we really were under the 20-week would have been very early on, in June of 2018. And that could be argued that that is due to the young nature of the coin. So we currently have a 12, almost 13% weekly candle down. We have 3 days left until the week closes, so a lot of things can happen within the week. At the same time, a lot of things may not happen within the week, and this is essentially where Chainlink's going to be closing. We can only hope that we can repeat kind of like what we had in the times where we did go briefly below, where we go straight down, hit support, and then move back up. But it's quite interesting. We've never really been under the 20-week for very long, and this could also insinuate, this is entirely speculation, that Chainlink's exponential move to the upside, so like what we see here, is coming to an end, and we're going to see Chainlink level off. Now that doesn't mean that Chainlink's not going to go get higher highs. It just might mean that it's going to take longer to get those higher highs because we've just been blessed by this exponential move against Bitcoin. It might be time that Chainlink kind of levels off and then rises again, just not in an exponential pattern like what we've been seeing in the past. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum, the last time I made a video where I showed that we're nearing this line of support here that we've been using since the beginning of the year, and we're making higher lows every single time we touch it. In addition, I also said that much like Chainlink, Ethereum seems to be coiling in into these prices, making lower highs and lower lows in a falling wedge pattern. And I argued that it's potentially could be a possibility that Ethereum will make support and then come back down and break to the upside. This did not happen. I also mentioned that I was playing around with this bottom line here of the falling wedge to kind of line it up a little better. However, I feel at this point no amount of lining up the readjusting the line is gonna change the fact that it really seems that Ethereum will be passing through this line, breaking support, and further moves to the downside. We can only hope that that we do make a higher low at this support, like what we've done in the past, and essentially kind of creep up, ride this, and then move to the upside. And it's kind of disappointing. I mean, Ethereum has been the second largest cryptocurrency in the space. And in order for altcoins to do well, we need the big cap altcoins to do well. And that includes Ethereum. And especially, even if we have mid caps, small caps going to the moon, that really doesn't make a difference. It's peanuts in comparison to Ethereum. And if we really want to see these moves to take down Bitcoin's dominance, we're going to need Ethereum to move and move big. Finally, Uniswap. Now, previously I did mention that I was looking at Uniswap as a hedge because I was holding Celsius token. So I was looking for an entry, and it seemed that this might be a good time to start. In that video, Uniswap was at about, I think like 75% already down from the wick. Yeah, something like that. And I finally made my first position. So I bought my first Uniswap's token, and mind you, I didn't use Uniswap before, so I did not benefit from the free tokens that they airdropped at the initial launch of the token. But my initial buy was at about 18,500, 400 sats. I'm not too sure, but it was around there. So obviously I'm already down. However, this is not going to be the only buy of Uniswap tokens for me. I am prepared to ride this down to roughly 90% loss. And I'm only doing that because I simply don't know where the bottom is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I know where the bottom is and this is it. So understanding that, I am setting up buy levels further and further down. And each buy level will be larger than the previous buy level. So I'm buying more and more the further it goes down, and I'm prepared to ride this down to 90%. My ideal situation with Uniswap is that we do continue down and we find support, I mean, it could drop below and find support and then reverse up. That is the best case scenario for Uniswap for me, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's how it's going to play out. This is a new token. It's only a month old, not even a month old. It launched on September 17th on Binance, and because we have no price history, there is no guarantee for anything. All I wanted was, I thought it was in my best interest to hold a DeFi project, because I was also holding a centralized finance project, and because these projects are new, I kind of it's hard for me to only bet on one side, especially with both are new. It's probably better to bet on both. So that's that. In my previous video on Binance token, I did briefly talk about Uniswap's trading volume, and that it was peanuts compared to Binance, and that is true. And when you're trying to mitigate your risk, you're gonna want larger coins with less volatility. And as I shown in that previous video, Binance's drops are not as bad as compared to other altcoin drops. Now you can use Chainlink, and I think Chainlink is an exception, not the norm. Binance is almost kind of like a middle between that in comparison to giant move altcoins that really shoot up, like Ethereum, like or kind of just shoot up once and then slowly bleed down, like Litecoin. However, an argument can be made with Uniswap saying, well, if Uniswap is going to be the future of exchanges, of decentralized exchanges, then then their conclusion is that trading volume is going to go up and Uniswap is just going to get larger, which could very well be the case, and that's one of the reasons why I'm buying it. If Uniswap begins to have trading volume the size of Binance, well, then Uniswap token's definitely going to benefit. So there is a lot of upside potential. There's a lot of room to grow. It is a young token. There's no price history. There's going to be a lot of price discovery. And we really don't know where Uniswap is going to land. Mind you, also, I am not allocating a lot of my funds into Uniswap. Like, not much. I'm not putting half. It's really going to be just 5%. And that 5% I'm willing to lose. It's small enough that it won't cause a huge disturbance to my portfolio. However, the upside potential, if it does really moon and really go up, then it's obviously going to greatly benefit my portfolio. So that's kind of like my play with Uniswap. 90% is really hard to stomach, especially for people that have bought more Uniswap token in this region. Or even in this region, especially when you see two daily candles to the upside, where both are like 15, 10%. You got 20%, 30% gain in 2 days. You're thinking to yourself, this is the reversal. However, that was not the case. For some people, you can wait. You can wait until Uniswap really continues to the downside, further down until Uniswap makes a higher low, which can indicate a reversal. However, I would argue that with a token this new, it can literally do anything, and logic, Uniswap surpasses logic. Like, there's no rationale or reasoning you can do with new tokens like these. If it's hard enough to determine what Bitcoin's price is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be even doubly so for Uniswap, because there's no price history, there's no information that we can gather with this token. So really, it's a coin toss at this point, which is why I am acknowledging that I don't know where the bottom is. I'm prepared to buy in this region, and I'm going to buy just enough so that if it does go up, I benefit. But if it does go to zero, or if it stays this down, then I'm not going to cry about the amount of money that I lose, if that makes any sense. So I mentioned with Uniswap that it's going to move further down. I anticipate moving it down and then going up. Ethereum, I mentioned this as well. We're going to hit this support and hopefully move up. Chainlink, same thing. We're looking at this local bottom, making it support and then moving up. What does this mean for altcoins in general? All of them, yeah, we're going to be moving up, but I anticipate, or we should at least be prepared, that there's further room to the downside, and that these altcoins are still going to suffer. In the previous video about Bitcoin dominance, I mentioned that we are nearing this trend line. We have been playing with this trend line since last year. However, we've been making bounces every single time. And every time we touch that support line, or resistance line, I guess, the move to the downside gets bigger and bigger. The cups get bigger. And we are very closely nearing that as well. And this space here is that room that I'm talking about for further to the downside. It doesn't look like much, but when we're talking about dominance by market cap and from Bitcoin compared to the altcoin market, that's a lot of money. And so that's a lot of a price move into the downside. We also mentioned that, just to look positively, because I don't want everyone, I don't want to end the note on a bad note when just to say like your altcoins are going to get wrecked. But we did see that similar bounce, further downside movement up here at the beginning, before the bull market, before that start crash, and that was three movements. We recognize that the market now is more efficient, more mature. It might require more bounces, hence why I drew an extra one before we move to this stark crash here. Is it going to be that big? I don't think so, but it's going to be a giant move nonetheless. When we're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars of money being flown into altcoins, and really offsetting that dominance factor. How the following question is, well, then how do we get this giant bounce? How do we get that stark move down? Well, one thing, and this is indicative to any altcoin to fare well, is that Bitcoin needs to start moving sideways. I mentioned at the beginning of this pump here, when we're around this area, around the middle of October 20th, that Bitcoin needs to start moving sideways. What happened? Well, we found more room to the upside, essentially. And although we saw a giant green candle to the upside, we saw an equal one to the downside. Bitcoin's, it doesn't look like it, but it's considered to be very volatile. And when Bitcoin's volatile, altcoins tend to suffer. No one wants to bet on altcoins when Bitcoin is this volatile. And it looks like it's moving sideways, but this is only a few days. This is essentially a week, if I'm not mistaken. Like 8 days, 9 days. In order for altcoins to truly benefit, we really need to move sideways for a long time. And when I mean long time, I mean like 84 days. In this span, in this region here, this is where Ethereum really shot up, from like 250 to like $300, $400. Here, other altcoins did benefit, and that was 37 days. So, making it, more realistic, if we wanted to wait around 80 to 90 days of sideways action, we're going to be looking at the middle of January at the end of it, and to the beginning of December, if Bitcoin keeps on moving in this range pattern, sideways action. In the middle of December, we'll then start to see altcoins pick up, because at that point, confidence that Bitcoin's going to stay at this level solidifies its new support, and also uh, volatility goes down. When volatility goes down, altcoins tend to benefit. They'll catch up against Bitcoin, especially their Bitcoin ratios. They'll begin to benefit, and that's what I'm also hoping about Uniswap. That it's not been giving time to breathe ever since its inception. Bitcoin has been trending upwards. So with that said, hopefully that plays out, and then Uniswap gets like room to breathe and to catch up essentially. But that's essentially what I wanted to talk about today. Let me know in the comments what your price predictions are. If you know where the bottom is on Uniswap, let me know. I'd love to hear your input, because these are the times where it's really fun, especially with a token as new as Uniswap. So if you liked the video, hit the like button down below. If you really liked it, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.